I refused to pay for my golden child sister's wedding, despite my parents' demands. At the wedding, they said, we took out a substantial loan for this wedding. Our son has offered to cover it. I refused them and ruined the wedding. My name's Eric, and I grew up in what you might call an ordinary family. But let me tell you, there was nothing ordinary about how things played out. From the day I was born, I was the second fiddle in my parents' orchestra. My older sister, Tanya, was their golden child, the apple of their eye. They had big dreams for her. She was going to take over our family's Chinese porcelain business and make it big. Me? I was just there. Tanya got all the attention, all the praise, all the newest gadgets. Latest iPhone? Tanya had it. Newest gaming console? Tanya's. Cool party invitation? Tanya's going. Me? I was lucky if I got Tanya's hand-me-downs or a babysitter for the night. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't hate my parents or even Tanya. I just didn't understand them. They were always trying to be something they weren't, richer, smarter, more important. It was all about appearances with them. Eric, stand up straight, Mom would hiss at family gatherings, and for goodness sake, smile. What will people think? I'd plaster on a fake smile and count the minutes until I could escape to my room. The only bright spot in all this was my grandparents, Mom's parents. They lived in a cozy little house across town, and visiting them was like stepping into another world. With them, I felt seen, loved. It was the only place I felt I could truly be myself. When Tanya graduated high school, it was a big to-do. My parents threw a lavish party, invited all their important friends, and announced proudly that Tanya would be attending some fancy-pants college they'd handpicked for her. Our girl's going places, Dad boasted, clapping Tanya on the back. She'll make the family proud. Tanya went to college, and I stayed at home. It's been a few years, and I researched schools, picked out a program I was passionate about. All I had to do was tell my parents. The next day, I gathered my courage and approached them at breakfast. Mom, Dad, I said, my voice shaking a little, I've decided on the college I want to attend. They looked at me like I'd grown a second head. College? Dad scoffed. You? Mom laughed, a high, fake sound that set my teeth on edge. Oh, Eric. Don't be silly. You don't need college. You'll work in the shop with us. But I want to study, I started, but Dad cut me off. We're not wasting money on your education, he said firmly. That money's going toward Tanya's new car. I stood there, shocked into silence. Then Mom delivered the final blow. Face it, Eric, she said, not unkindly but with a patronizing smile. You're just not college material. You'll be much happier in the shop. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. All my dreams, all my hard work meant nothing to them. I ran from the room, tears streaming down my face, and did the only thing I could think of, I called my grandparents. They said I'm not college material. I sobbed into the phone. There was a moment of silence, then Grandpa's voice came on the line, firm and angry. Pack your bags, Eric. We're coming to get you. An hour later, I was throwing clothes into a suitcase when my parents burst into my room. What do you think you're doing? Mom demanded. I'm leaving, I said, my voice shaky but determined. Dad scoffed. Don't be ridiculous. Where would you go? Just then, the doorbell rang. I heard Grandpa's booming voice downstairs, and a wave of relief washed over me. He's coming with us, Grandpa said as he appeared in my doorway, Grandma right behind him. Now, wait just a minute, Dad started, but Grandpa cut him off. Eric's 18. He can live wherever he damn well pleases, he growled, and right now, he pleases to live with us. Mom tried to argue, but I was already hauling my suitcase down the stairs. As we drove away, I watched my childhood home disappear in the rearview mirror. I thought I'd feel sad, but all I felt was free. That night, over a home-cooked dinner, my grandparents laid out their plan. We've been saving for years, Grandma said, reaching for my hand. We always knew you were destined for great things, Eric. We want to pay for your college. And just like that, my life changed. I enrolled in the college of my dreams, ready to tackle whatever came my way. Every month, without fail, a small amount of money would appear in my account for accommodation, the note always said. I threw myself into my studies with a passion I never knew I had. Late nights in the library, heated debates in class, projects that challenged me in ways I'd never been challenged before. I loved every minute of it. One day, after presenting a particularly difficult project, my professor pulled me aside. Eric, I'm impressed, she said, a rare smile on her usually stern face. How would you like to intern at Stellar Corp this summer? My jaw dropped. Stellar Corp was the most prestigious company in the city. Everyone wanted to work there. Are you serious? I stammered. She nodded. I'm recommending you personally. Don't let me down. I practically floated out of the classroom. Me, Eric, the guy who was not college material, landing an internship at Stellar Corporation for the first time in my life, I felt like I was exactly where I was meant to be. The future was wide open, and I was ready to grab it with both hands. I was in my third year of college when the unexpected call came. My older sister, Tanya, had already graduated and landed a job. She'd been bragging about some big promotion. And now, my parents, who had hardly spoken to me in years, suddenly wanted me to come home to share in Tanya's success. I spent the next few days debating whether to go. Part of me wanted to stay away, to protect the life I'd built for myself, but another part. Well, maybe things had changed. Maybe they finally saw me differently. In the end, I decided to go. What's the worst that could happen, right? I arrived at my old house on Friday evening, feeling like a stranger as I walked up the familiar driveway. Mom answered the door, all smiles and air kisses. I just finished unpacking when I heard the front door open, and Tanya's voice drifted up the stairs. Mom, Dad, we're here. Curious, I headed downstairs. Tanya was standing in the living room, her arm around a handsome blonde guy I'd never seen before. Everyone, I'd like you to meet Sam, Tanya announced, beaming. My fiancé. Mom let out a squeal that could have shattered glass, while Dad pumped Tanya's hand enthusiastically. I stood on the sidelines, feeling like an outsider at a party I hadn't been invited to. It's nice to meet you, I said to Sam, who smiled warmly at me. You must be Eric.